Right, lesson 44. Last one of the week. We start off with a little problem here, a little addition, subtraction going on. Follow order of operations, so we're going to go ahead and do the parentheses first. So I'm going to add 361 plus 452. And let's see, I get 813. Come over here, I'm going to add 193, 204. That's 397. And the middle part here says I'm going to subtract those two answers. So I got 813 minus 397. Can't take that, so borrow from here. That'll be a 6. This will become a 10. This guy here become a 7. And 416. Answer. Number 2. Solve 60 divided by 15 using an area model. See the help pages. First of all, if you don't want to use the area model, it's not that big of a deal. You don't need to. Just divide it normally. Again, the key is to get the correct answer. But the area model, we're just going to use facts or factors that you already know. I know that 15 times 2 is 30. I'm going to put a 2 over here, and there's my 30 in there for my area. I'm going to subtract it from this. And that means I got 30 left over. Well, that's pretty simple for me. You got another 2 right there. Again, we already know that's 30. I got no remainders going on here. And I add these two digits together. It's 4. Number 3. William measured the moth specimen. It is 2 and 5/10 centimeters wide. What is the width of the moth in millimeters? So we have to change centimeters and millimeters. King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. Here's my centimeters. Here's my millimeters. I got to go one spot to the right. Here's my number, 2 and 5/10. Take my decimal point, move it over one spot to the right. And that would be 25 millimeters. Number 4. I have to put these 3 decimals in order from greatest to least. Please read these carefully. Greatest to least. So I'm going to line up my decimal points. Got them all lined up already. And these are all 7s. So I got to jump over to the next place value, which is our tens column. We're looking for the greatest number. So these are both 9s. And this was a 0. So that's our smallest number here. Go over to the hundredths column. A 4 is larger than a 0. So this one right here is going to be first. We'll just go ahead and write that. 7 942 thousandths. Then it would be 7 and 908 thousandths. And then finally 7 and 89 thousandths. Oh, there's your answer. Number 5. All right, they took the training wheels off here. Find a common denominator, add the fractions, and write the answer in simplest form. Before, they gave you the common denominator. Now they're asking you to find it yourself. 2 things you could do. You could either just multiply your 2 denominators together and use 32. Or, I know 4 goes into 8, so I know that 8 is a multiple of 4, and obviously 8 is a multiple of itself. So I'm going to use 8 as a common denominator. This denominator did not change, therefore I'm not changing the numerator. This denominator went 4 times 2 to get that. Therefore I got to multiply top times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. I have a common denominator. I can add those 2 together now. 6 plus 1 is 7. 8. Okay, number 6. I need to find multiples of 2 and 9. 2 only goes into even numbers, so I can cancel out all my odds. Those are all gone. Well, those 2 anyway. 2 goes into 12, but 9 does not go into 12. That's gone. 2 goes into 18, so does 9. So we got 18. And 2 goes into 36, and so does 9. So it's 18 and 36. Here's your answer. And those are both multiples. Number 7, estimate first and find the exact quotient. 45 and 5/10 divided by 3 and 5/10. I'm going to try to find some numbers that I already know and I can do in my head. I'm going to pretend that this guy here is a 4. And then I know that 44, I can divide 44 and 4. That's going to give me 11. Why is that important to me? Because I know when I'm finished dividing these two numbers right here, my answer better be close to 11. If not, we've done something wrong. So let's go ahead and divide those. Excuse me. All right. 35, we pretend that the decimal points aren't even there, okay? 35 goes into 45 once. And I subtract that. Bring down my 5. The 10 is smaller than 35, so we're good. Bring down my 5. I know that 3 goes into 10 3 times, so I'm going to try that number. Notice I'm going to come over here and do this little small, quick multiplication problem. 5 times 3 is 15. Here, my 1, 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Hey, look at that. Nice when they all come out together, huh? There's a 1 on top. 1 times... I'm sorry, it's a 3. 3 times 35 is 105. So we got the correct answer. Now we have to place our decimal point. It's got to be close to 11. Well, if I put it here, that'd be 1.3, so that's not going to work out. Here would be 1300, so that's not close to 11. I got to put it in the back. And again, if you recall, I cannot divide by a by a decimal or a fraction in the divisor. So I got to move the decimal point over, so that's a whole number. Move the decimal point over, that's a whole number. Decimal point goes straight up. Moving on. Number 8. It's 2. I've got to find a pattern, I'm guessing. Yep. State the rule. Write the next two terms. 2, 6, 18. First thing you notice is increasing. It's either going to be addition or multiplication. I could add 4 to get 6, but if I add 4 here, that's only going to give me 10. That's not going to work. So let's try some multiplication. Multiply that time. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So my rule must be multiply times 3. And then I have to go ahead and find the next two terms. So 18 times 3 is 54. And 54 times 3 is 162. So my next two terms are 54, 162. Number 9. Look at the trapezoid to the right. Which two line segments are parallel? So here's my trapezoid. Let me show you it. Even though you should have it in front of your face anyway, right? Here's the painter guy. Here we go. So I'm looking for parallel. Those are two lines that will never cross. These cross. Those cross. These two right here will never cross. That's line EG and line FH. Okay, and these are the symbols for writing lines. You're going to get to know that here soon. So when I come back to number 9, I'm going to write line EG and FH. You could write it out, are parallel, or you could use the symbol for parallel, which are two lines that don't cross. Number 10, round 22 and 75 hundredths to the nearest tenth. 7 to the 10, we look at the 5. This 5 is going to bump up our 7 to an 8. So the answer is 22 and 8 tenths. Number 11. Number 11 states that Alexander is painting the fence. He paints 9 feet an hour. How many feet can he paint in 53 hours? Well, there's 9 feet per hour. He's going to paint for 53 hours. This screams multiplication here. 53 times 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Carry my 2. 9 times 5 is 45. Plus 2 is 47. My answer is 477 feet. Number 12, 6,317 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry my 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry my 1. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. 1, 2, 3. 25,268. Last row here. Which polygon is not regular? Regular has all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. So we're looking for stuff that have different angles or different sides. These are all congruent. All these sides and all these angles are congruent. This is an acute angle. That's an acute angle. This is obtuse. That's obtuse. So those are not the same. Just to make sure, C and D do have the same sides and the same angles. Therefore, our answer is B. Number 14, write 375,219 in expanded form. Awesome. At least they gave us a small number. So here we go. The 3's in 100,000s column. So 3 times 100,000 plus 7's in 10,000. So 7 times 10,000 plus 5 times 1,000 plus 2 times 100 plus 1 times 10 plus 9 times 1. Alright, thank you Simple Solutions for giving us a huge number. Moving on to 15. Choose a numerical expression that represents subtracting 0.8 from the product, which is multiplication, 33 times 6. Let me see if I can get this one right without messing it up like yesterday. So I'm looking for something to subtract 0.8. In fact, this is the only one that is subtracting 0.8 from the product of 6 times 33. C is your answer. And finally, number 16, ending on an easy one. We have to shade in 90 hundredths of the fraction model below. All right, go ahead and do that. So that means these are each 10. I'm going to shade in 9 of them. Oh, yeah. Nothing like shading. If you're not coloring, you're not learning. All right, so there's 90 hundredths. And to write this as a decimal, it is 0.90. Hey, study for your quiz tomorrow. Later.